just want to put some thoughts down of my own about this speech from Bernie Sanders. I watched it yesterday and made an impromptu short video, and I felt compelled to watch it again. I'm going to use the film from Politics Joe, who I do actually watch quite often, and thank you guys for putting up your footage. I hope you don't mind that I'm going to use this, but I just feel that the word has to get out.
How you have people who are worth tens and tens of billions of dollars, and who every day are fighting hard to crush the working class so they can have a few billion more. Shame on them.
But not only shame on them, shame on the people that allow them to do that. And shame on the Tory government, because they've been doing this for years as well to help these people out.
Thank you very much for that introduction, and let me thank the R&T for inviting me to be with you this evening. It is, in truth, a real honor.
And here again, I think the honor is from both sides.
And I want to convey to you my belief that millions of working people throughout this country are proud of what you are doing. They're proud of your fight for justice, and we stand with you. Thank you.
I hope the British working people are proud of what they're doing. If the unions win, everybody's going to be better off for it. And the Tories alone will be worse off for it.
And that is what you are seeing is people on the top, people who are phenomenally rich are becoming richer. You're seeing a middle class continue to shrink, and you're seeing millions and millions of people living in abject poverty. In the year 2022, we cannot allow that to happen, whether it's the UK or the United States. Working people all over this globe have got to stay together and tell the oligarchs they cannot have it all. And let me tell you a little bit about what's going on in my country. Today in America, you have 3 multi-billionaires who own more wealth than the bottom half of American society, 160 million people.
How can that be?
In your country, as I understand it, you have 100 people on top who own more wealth than the bottom 18 million people. That is 27% of your population.
And we want to be like America.
No one can tell me from a moral perspective, or in fact from an economic perspective, that it makes any sense at all that so few have so much and so many have so little.
It kind of makes me think about that Churchill statement, so much was owed by so many to so few. And this is just the other way around. This is the essence of Brexit.
It is beyond my understanding, and I mean this seriously. Everybody, wants to live a good life. Everybody wants to make a good living. Everybody wants a decent home, etc., etc. But it is hard for me to really understand how you have people who are worth tens and tens of billions of dollars, and who every day are fighting hard to crush the working class so they can have a few billion more. Shame on them. There is no moral justification for a small number of multi-billionaires to have more wealth than they will spend in 1,000 lifetimes while people are going hungry or living out on the street. In the UK and in the United States, we have got to get our priorities right, and that means creating an economy and a government that work for all, not just the few. Inequality in wealth and income, it is a growing concentration of ownership. Again, the corporate media doesn't talk about this terribly much. But in sector after sector in the United States, and I doubt that it is much different here, you have a handful of large multinational corporations controlling what is produced and how much it costs in one area after the other. And right now, there are 3 firms on Wall Street, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, who have and control assets of $20 trillion. 3 companies, that is the GDP of the United States of America.
That's just amazing. 3 companies control 120, whatever it was, dollars. The number is mind-blowing. And these 3 companies control the same amount of money as the GDP in America.
And our challenge is to bring people together, to stand up to the demagogues who want to divide us up by the color of our skin, or where we were born, or our sexual orientation, or whatever. Bring working people together in the fight for justice and a world that belongs to all of us, not just the people on top. Our job is to take on these oligarchs. And our job is to imagine a world of justice. It is not radical. It is not radical to say that every worker in the UK and in the United States is entitled to a decent standard of living. That's not a radical. It is not a radical idea. It is not a radical idea to say that not only should children not be going hungry, that we should have the best schools imaginable, that every young person in this country, in my country, who has the desire to get a higher education should be able to do that regardless of the income of his or her family.
I'm a dinner lady in Lancashire, and just before the summer holidays, when the cost of living crisis really started kicking off, I've just noticed I spend as much time taking food away from children as I do serving it. And to be honest, it's not what I took the job for. You know, I never dreamt that I'd be having to tell children, you can't have that, you've no money on your account. And it used to be, you know, when I first started a year ago, okay, once a month, there might, you know, parents forget to put money on at the beginning of the month. And you get that. But now you're talking 10 to 15 children a shift every day, every single day. And I'm saying, you can't have that. There's no money, you know. And it's breaking my heart. You know, you see them, they're in a queue full of all their peers and other school children, and it's humiliating for them. It's so humiliating. They just look at you like, well, what am I going to eat? And it's like, I can't give you anything. I'm sorry, you know. And I'm just dreading going back to work. I'm dreading October. And to be honest, it's getting to the point where I'm just like, I don't even think I can do this job anymore. I didn't take the job on to starve children. I'm sorry, it's just... You know, it's just something has to give, and I just don't think it should be children's spirits. You know, I'm sorry,
What have the Tories done? They've continually cut education funding.
It is not a radical idea to say that everybody in this country and in my country is entitled to good, quality, affordable housing. Your healthcare system here is different than ours. And thank God in 1948, your country had the wisdom to say that healthcare is a human right, not a privilege.
But if we're not careful, it'll become a privilege. The waiting times for ambulances, doctors, operations, hospital beds.
I understand the pressure of the privatization going on now in the NHS. But you are ahead of us because we today have some 70 million Americans who are uninsured or underinsured. And if you can believe it, in my country, the wealthiest country on earth, some 60,000 people a year die because they can't get to a doctor when they need to get a doctor.
And is that what we want?
The only way working people ever make success is when we stand up, we take them on, and we win. That's what this struggle is about.